The time is precisely 6:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here's the news edited by Dulvin Samarasinga and read by Rumesh Peris. First, the headlines. The Public Utilities Commission says there will be no power interruptions until further notice. The health guidelines extended until the 28th of February. The development projects at all Grama Seva divisions will commence on the 3rd of February. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga requests to conduct an impartial investigation into the egg attack on JVP leader. The central bank fast-tracks master plan for consolidation of non-bank financial institutions. And in news overseas, Indian Parliament opens amid furore over Pegasus lies. And in sports, Formula One makes COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for all personnel. And now the local news in detail. The health guidelines which were issued recently have been extended until the 28th of February. The Deputy Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemanta Herath, said that although the circular which was issued in December was scheduled to end today was extended. He said that there is a possibility of changing the guidelines according to the requirements. He requested the public to strictly follow health advice since Omicron is spreading fast. Dr. Herath requested the people to limit travelling during the forthcoming long weekend. Meanwhile, the health authorities said 50 corona-infected children are undergoing treatment at the Lady Ridgeway Hospital in Colombo. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena says that the government will take steps to review the economy this year. Development projects will commence at all Grama Seva divisions on the 3rd of February. More than 43,000 development projects will be implemented under the plan. The minister mentioned this yesterday during a function to vest with the public 8 by-roads that have been developed in Homagama area. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga has requested the President and the IGP to conduct an impartial inquiry into throwing eggs at the vehicle of JVP leader Anura Kumara Disanayaka. His vehicle was attacked with eggs at Kalagidihena area after he was returning from Gampaha district summit of Jatika Janabalawegaya. Nitambu police have been handed over 2 persons suspected with the attack. Minister Ranatunga said that he vehemently condemns the attack and rejects the statements by some people that he was connected to the attack. Under the master plan of consolidation of non-bank financial institutions being implemented by the Central Bank of Sri Lanka, 9 companies have already introduced fresh capital of 12.56 billion rupees to meet regulatory capital requirements. In addition, 12 companies have submitted their acquisition or consolidation plans to Central Bank and obtained relevant preliminary approvals. As a result, the non-bank financial institution sector has witnessed a significant improvement in compliance with regulatory capital requirements and has recorded the lowest non-compliance levels during recent times. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. We continue with more local news. The construction of Madhuruwa Southern Bank development project are now taking place. It will cost more than 30,000 million rupees. The project will benefit people in Ampara and Batiklu districts. 5 tanks will also be built under the project. 5,500 farmer families will be settled in the area and 10 habitats will be set up to accommodate them. Minister Chamal Rajapaksa and State Minister Siripala Gamnath will make an observation tour of the area on the 6th to look into the constructions. The revenue from coconut exports in 2021 has increased by 30%. Sathasa sells coconut for a maximum price of 75 rupees. One consumer can purchase 5 coconuts at once. Minister Ramesh Pathirana said that he appreciates that steps taken by the Trade Ministry to provide goods to the people at concessional prices during the recent past. He said they expect the plant to plant 5 million coconut saplings this year. The Colombo Chief Magistrate Buddhika Sri Ragula has ordered to remand the 12 suspects arrested with 350 kilograms of heroin in international seas until the 15th of next month. 17 suspects were arrested in connection with the incident and 5 of them who were not connected with the heroin racket have been released on the Chief Magistrate's orders. The appeals court ordered today to take up the writ petition filed by the North Western Province Governor, Admiral of the Fleet, Vasantha Karnangoda, on the 6th of April. Mr. Karnaguru has been named as an accused in the case filed by the Attorney General in connection with abducting and disappearance of 11 youth in 2008. The website Waste to Wealth, introduced with the aim of minimizing use of plastic, was launched today at the Ministry of Environment. Online programs are taking place in the world to provide goods used by another person without destroying them. This website will also perform the same task in Sri Lanka. It is expected that this will help to minimize plastic waste getting added to oceans and water resources. Minister Mahinda Amaraveera said that the use of non-degradable lunch sheets will be completely stopped within the next 3 months. And that concludes local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka stated that the demand for electricity can be managed during this month of February, starting tomorrow. Accordingly, the proposal made by the Ceylon Electricity Board for a power interruption will not be allowed until the 4th of February. The CEB had proposed that there is a need for power interruption from the 25th of January to the 4th of February. Chairman of the Public Utilities Commission, Janaka Ratnayaka, said they reviewed the power plants and the fuel stocks that are required for them on a daily basis. Based on the results of those reviews, they have decided there is no necessity for power interruption. It is estimated around 31 billion rupees of loss may have occurred in the economy if the proposed power interruption was approved. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watch Night, the Foreign Ministry, in collaboration with the Government Information Centre's 1919 call centre, has introduced an appointment reservation system for the general public. It is for those who wish to authenticate certificates and documents through the electronic document attestation system, in addition to the present practice of walk-ins. Anyone wishing to reserve a time slot can do so by calling 1919 from any telephone network. And that came to you in Watch Night. A bulletin of world news is next.
Coming up, World News.
Moving on to the bulletin of world news, first the headlines. Indian Parliament opens amid furore over Pegasus lies. New Zealand responds to pregnant reporter helped by Taliban. Spotify announces plans to clamp down on COVID misinformation. And now the world news in detail. India's parliament opened amid a political storm over fresh allegations that Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government brought Israeli-made Pegasus spyware to snoop on its critics. The New York Times reported on Friday that India acquired Pegasus from Israel as part of a defense deal in 2017. Similar allegations emerged last year, and the government had denied them. New Zealand has defended its border controls after a pregnant journalist said she had to return to the Taliban for help after not being able to fly home. COVID-19 Response Minister Chris Hipkins said there was a place for people with special circumstances like Charlotte Bellis. Her story has cast a renewed spotlight on Wellington's tough border measures designed to keep out the coronavirus. Spotify says that it is working to add advisory warnings to any podcast on its platform that discusses COVID-19. CEO Daniel Ek said that the new warning will redirect users to a data hub of coronavirus facts. The move follows criticism of its work with Joe Rogan, a US podcast host who has interviewed vaccine skeptics. Back to the headlines of the world news. Indian Parliament opens amid furore over Pegasus lies. New Zealand responds to pregnant reporter helped by Taliban. Spotify announces plans to clamp down on COVID misinformation. And that concludes the bulletin of world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The ambassador of the EU delegation in Sri Lanka, Dennis Chaibe, together with chairperson of Sri Lanka Tourism, Kirmali Fernando, launched the initial stage of the island's first ever long-distance walking trail with the unveiling of the signage at the trailhead. The Heritage Trails project identifies a collection of destination-based walking trails across the island, starting with more than 300 kilometers walking path traversing the hills of Sri Lanka. The development of the trails is a part of EU's €5.7 million investment in support of Sri Lanka's national tourism strategy, including the development of signature experiences. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on to sports, it's cricket. Uncapped Sri Lankan fast bowler Nuwan Tushara has tested positive for COVID-19 and his participation in Sri Lanka's upcoming T20 International Tour of Australia has been put in doubt as a result. According to a Sri Lanka cricket statement, Dilshan Fonseca, the team's trainer, has also tested positive and currently undergoing COVID-19 protocols. Meanwhile, in other sports news, Formula 1 is to make COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for all personnel this year. The move will mean no one will be able to work within the paddock, F1's inner sanctum, where the teams operate without being fully vaccinated. The policy will apply to all personnel working within F1, including drivers, teams, media, hospitality workers, and any guests who attend the races. And that was sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, DFCC Bank has expanded its island-wide network by opening a new off-site MySpace ATM at the Mass Intimates Unicella premises within the Kogala Free Trade Zone. The newly opened MySpace ATM stands to provide easily accessible, convenient 24/7 banking facilities to staff at Mass Intimates and employees from all surrounding companies within the Free Trade Zone. And that was business news.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
In the latest release of 2021 fourth quarter data of Lanka Property Web's House Price Index, which is based on the asking prices of its listings, the overall selling prices of houses has increased by 22.53% and apartments by 17.68% when compared to fourth quarter of 2020. This is indicating an all-time high price based on the house price index maintained by Lanka Property Web. And that was economic news. The weather report is next.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
And finally, on to the weather report. The Met Department says except for a few showers in Galle, Mathur and Kalutara districts during the evening, mainly fair weather will prevail over the island. And that was the weather report. And to end this news broadcast, a recap of the main news headlines. The Public Utilities Commission says there will be no power interruptions until further notice. The health guidelines extended until the 28th of February. The development projects at all Grama Seva divisions will commence on the 3rd of February. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga requests to conduct an impartial investigation into the egg attack on JVP leader. The Central Bank fast-tracks master plan for consolidation of non-bank financial institutions. And in news overseas, Indian Parliament opens amid furore over Pegasus lies. And in sports, Formula One makes COVID-19 vaccines mandatory for all personnel. And that concludes this news broadcast from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.